If you've ever wanted to compost in the city but, worried about smell, mess, or space, you're not alone. For years, I honestly believed composting was only for people with backyards and, strong stomachs. But then I discovered the indoor worm tower, a self-contained, odor-free composting system that turns daily kitchen scraps into nutrient-rich soil right under your sink or on your balcony. This isn't just another DIY gimmick. It's actually a quiet, low-maintenance soil factory powered by nature's hardest workers, worms. And once you set it up, it practically runs itself. Let's be honest, most people give up on composting because it's just too messy, too smelly, or, well, too much work. Traditional compost piles rely on heat, air, and large volumes of organic matter to break down efficiently. That process just doesn't translate well to an apartment or small patio. You can't turn a big pile every few days inside your kitchen, and you definitely don't want your living room smelling like a barnyard. The worm tower solves all of that because worms handle the breakdown process naturally, quietly, and odorlessly, as long as you give them the right conditions. So, the worm tower is actually a vertical bin system that lets worms process your food waste layer by layer. It's pretty compact, about the size of a small laundry basket. And honestly, it's just perfect for small homes. Each layer's got holes that allow worms and microbes to travel between levels, making the whole process super efficient. Here's how it works. You just feed your kitchen scraps into the top layer. The worms migrate upward as they finish what's below, leaving behind pure dark worm castings, what a lot of people call black gold. Once a layer is done, you simply remove the bottom one, harvest the compost, and rotate it back to the top. It's really straightforward. There's no smell, no pests, and honestly, no need to turn or aerate anything at all. The tower's design provides continuous airflow, and the worms themselves mix everything naturally. It's just simple and hassle-free. You don't need fancy materials, just a few simple items. Start with a sturdy plastic or wooden stackable bin system. Drill small holes in the base of each tray for air circulation and worm movement. Place a catch tray or small bucket beneath to collect any excess liquid. This is your worm tea, an incredible natural fertilizer for houseplants and garden beds. Now add bedding. Shredded cardboard, paper, coconut coir, or dry leaves work perfectly. Moisten it until it feels like a wrung-out sponge. Then introduce your worms. Eisenia foetida, or red wigglers, are best for indoor systems. Once the worms are in, just cover them with a thin layer of moist bedding and, a piece of damp newspaper or burlap. This keeps the surface nice and dark, and it helps prevent those annoying fruit flies. So, this is where most beginners go wrong, overfeeding or using the wrong scraps. Worms don't actually eat the food directly, they rely on microbes to pre-digest it first. If you just dump in large amounts of wet food waste, you'll end up with a sour, anaerobic mess, and nobody wants that. Feed small portions every few days. Things like vegetable peels, fruit scraps, coffee grounds, and crushed eggshells work great. But yeah, avoid meat, dairy, oil, and citrus. And if you can, chop or blend larger pieces so they break down faster. You'll know you're feeding the right amount when you rarely see uneaten food after a few days. If you notice any smell at all, it's a sign to pause feeding and add more bedding. After about 2 to 3 months, your lower layer will be filled with soft, dark, earthy castings, the richest form of compost imaginable. Gently remove this tray, set it aside for a few days, and the remaining worms will crawl upward toward the food. Once the worms migrate, you can use the castings directly in your potted plants or mix them with potting soil for seed starting. The result is fluffier, more nutrient-dense soil that retains moisture and boosts plant immunity. Even the liquid collected in the bottom tray, that's the worm tea, can be, diluted with water at about a 1:10 ratio and used as a really powerful organic feed for both your indoor and outdoor plants. The worm tower works because, well, it mimics nature's forest floor. Instead of relying on heat and bacteria, it actually uses a living ecosystem, worms, microbes, and oxygen to recycle nutrients efficiently. And, unlike traditional compost bins, there's no waiting period or foul odor. It's continuous, clean, and completely self-sustaining once established. For apartment gardeners, balcony growers, or, anyone who wants a closed-loop system without the effort, it's honestly revolutionary. If you're tired of tossing valuable kitchen scraps into the trash or fighting with smelly compost piles, this system is your gentle way out. The indoor worm tower doesn't just recycle waste, it reconnects you with the natural process of soil regeneration right where you live. It's quiet, it's odor-free, and, well, it feeds your plants endlessly without any chemical fertilizers. Start with 1 tower, 1 pound of worms, and a handful of scraps. In a few months, you'll have a thriving ecosystem at your feet. Proof that even the laziest composter can create living soil magic from their kitchen counter.